Yeah, hi guys. So welcome to this webinar, and here I am, your host Arun Kumar. So basically, I think we have got very good number of registrations for this webinar. I actually did not expect this webinar, like more than 200 registrations we have, and I think this is live. I mean, to be very frank, this is first time I'm trying the webinar via this Google Hangouts. Like we have Google Hangouts integrated with YouTube live stream. So why I choose this method? Because I wanted to give this webinar to the people who are on my YouTube channel as well. Because mostly people miss the webinar, and earlier I have taken so many webinars, and those webinars were like taken using gotowebinar.com. Actually, in that webinar, we can communicate directly and all. But this is something I just wanted to try. And also, one more thing, this is free. Hmm. Okay, let's come to the topic. I hope all of you can hear me, all of you can see me right now live. And I'll be beginning with sharing my screen. And we'll start off with the webinar Oracle Golden Gate database cloning versus replication. So first of all, before I change my screen to the slides, I just wanted to talk about one thing. Why this topic, like database cloning versus replication? The thing is, like, I get so many emails day in, day out, and every time I get this very silly question: what is the difference between cloning, duplication, refreshes, and then replication? This has become a very redundant email. And trust me, I answer so many times, and most of the times I just copy paste the emails as well. Okay, so then I decided, like, because Golden Gate being the most buzzword these days in the market, I thought, why not have a webinar that clears the confusion of database cloning versus replication. And also, there is a gift hamper at the end of this webinar which I want to share with all of you, and let's see how you all can get benefited out of this webinar. And I hope you would definitely enjoy this webinar and also the gift hamper at the end of the webinar. So let's start. Let me just share my screen. And I think you should be able to see my screen right now. Yep, this is the presentation, and we'll start with the presentation right now. So as I mentioned earlier, why this webinar? Because I'm getting so many emails regarding database cloning versus replication. So I just decided, like, let's have a webinar, and then I'll address these questions. Basically, I have a combination of slides, and also I'll be using my touchpad to explain few things. I mean, I'll go out of the slides as well in between. And one important thing before I flip the slides, I assure that people who are missing this webinar or could not join this webinar on time, they can view the webinar, because this is being live recorded, and also it would be posted on our YouTube channel. I'll try and share this webinar recording even on the Facebook page and also on our Facebook group. Okay, so let's start. Okay, by the way, I'm having a little cough and cold. Maybe that might irritate you, but I think I think that's okay. Because the weather over here is literally changing. Let's come back to the topic: Oracle Golden Gate database cloning versus replication. Most of the times, people think that cloning and replication both are same thing, but ideally, when you look at a dictionary definition of cloning and replication, maybe they might be same. But when it comes to database, there is a difference between what exactly is cloning and what exactly is replication. So let us start. First of all, about the chef. Okay, that's about me actually. Hmm. I'm an Oracle certified expert. I'm an Oracle certified professional. I have actually published two Oracle related books on Amazon, and I plan to write a lot of ebooks further. I'm also writing an ebook on Oracle Golden Gate right now. Hmm. And if you want to see the books, let me walk you through the books which I have published on Amazon. Actually, two books related to Oracle, and also one book related to my passion. This is actually my blog, aksgolu.com, and you can see there is a tab like my books. Now in this one, this is the latest one which I released, and as I mentioned, I'm also passionate about letting the startups grow, and I also help the startups to grow their business, and kind of like I have that passion for business as well. So definitely I always uh, plan to release books which are related to startups. And coming to the Oracle, these are the two books which I have released on Amazon. Oracle 11G 12C Data Guard with ASM. That actually that book is lab practice material which will allow you to configure data guard on a standby on a normal standalone system, which is again configured over ASM. And then I have published this book, that is Oracle 11G R2 Rack Quick Deployment Guide. This book is like related to how to configure two-node rack at home and how quickly you can deploy Oracle Rack. Now these two books which are related to Oracle are available on Amazon. You can purchase very less price. Okay, now I'm not actually promoting my books, just I'm letting you know about my work. So that's about me. And what I do is I mostly provide Oracle support. I love to train people because I believe currently in the market, people who are giving the trainings, they give the training to make money, but my idea is a little bit different. I want to actually make a community of people who are passionate to learn, because I invest a lot of time in explaining the things. And 90% of the time, okay, let's take 100% of the time, my schedules are delayed, because if I commit 1 hour, I'll definitely take 1.5 hours. Okay, this might surprise you because this event is also for 1 hour. So I'll try to stick to the timelines, but please pardon me in case if I take more time of yours. Yes, and I do take a lot of video courses and online training also, and I also provide one-to-one training. But mostly my focus is to provide as much of Oracle support as much as possible. So that's about the master chef this side. That's about me. Let us proceed further. I have divided this session into basically three parts. First one is understanding about database cloning. What exactly is database cloning? And then part two would be a database replication, where you will understand what exactly is the replication. And part three is about the Golden Gate. So what is so special about Golden Gate, and why are we in this webinar? Then actually we'll conclude at the end, like what are the power, what is the power of Golden Gate and why people use Golden Gate, right? So let us start with database cloning. First of all, let's go back to school. We assume we are running a school, and in this school, mm, we would like to conduct a test, and we ask one of the teachers to come up with a question paper. Okay, so the teacher has designed one question paper, and this is the question paper for the students. Now, generally, what happens is, let's take in a class, if there are 100 students, you do not really, design the question paper 100 times. What you do is you generally create one standard template or one question paper, and then you create a clone, or you create a copy of the question paper, right? Correct. So in this case, let us assume we have two students, and we would like to take their test on this question paper. So what we do is, like, the teacher has created one question paper, and we have cloned, or we have copied the first question paper. And now what we do is we distribute these question papers to the students. So we have two students. The first one is Mike, and those answers in the red are the what do you call, answers given by Mike, right? So Mike gave those answers like A, B, A, B, B. Now they are right or wrong, that is a separate case. Okay, so the second question paper that we have given is, it was given to John, and those are the answers to the answers by the John. Now understand these red answers, these are actually the transactions. Now we had question papers, those question papers are given to users, okay, like Mike and John. Now after we hand over the question paper to the users, whatever they write, that will actually disturb the paper, right? That will not make the paper look alike. Correct. The papers will change because the transactions or the changes they have made on the question paper are totally different. Okay, right. So this is a very simple example to understand what exactly is cloning, because I'll be relating it back to the database. Now, after the exam is done, we have tried to correct the papers, and now we got to know that Mike passed the exam and John actually failed in the exam. Okay. Now, in this case, what happens is, see, just remember this pass and fail for us to understand the concept in replication. Okay, so this pass and fail, I'll come back to it again, and we'll revisit it again in the replication topic, right? So don't worry. Right now, we are not dealing with pass and fail, and we'll be coming it back to it again. So let us proceed further. Now, what exactly is database cloning? Okay, now we have seen what is like, we have seen very simple example right now, and now we'll be relating the database cloning topic idea with our exam. Okay, now we let us assume we have a production server that is B6P. Okay, that is a production server which is running live, where users are inputting their own mm, transactions. Now, in a company, in our company, we have three teams. One is quality, one is test, and one is development. Okay. Now, let us assume the quality team wants to perform some some kind of quality test on the production data. We cannot allow them to log into the production database, right? Because it will be a challenge. And in the production database, if let's say quality team by mistakenly make some changes, of course they will, every team, like we have test team, we have development team, they might make some changes if we allow them to log in onto the production server. Now that's the reason we cannot allow them to literally log into the production and do their work. So what we do, we create a copy of production server and then hand it over to the teams. Now quality team is saying that, okay, we want to do some quality testing on the production server. We as a DBA, we create a quality database that is B6PQ. Some example, I mean, we just have Q at the end to identify it as a quality database. So what we have done over here is we literally cloned the production database to B6PQ. Perfect. Now what we say is like, okay, quality team, you proceed with your database. You don't have to worry about your data. Now don't come back to us. You have your own dedicated database to perform your quality test, right? Great. Next, we have the test team. So like testing team wants to perform some upgrades, patching. They want to do some uploads, or try to play with the data in the production. Okay. So what we do is we created a clone database B6PT for the testing team. And now testing team is also happy. We gave them B6PT database. Correct. And then the development team, which actually deals with the development of the application, they try to uh, improve the application. So we created B6PD as a clone database from the production server. Okay. Now there is a new term over here that comes into picture. I mean, we need to understand that term as well. The first one is like quality team says that, okay, every month, on the first of every month, we want that you perform the cloning for us. Why? Because let us relate it back to our exam paper. Okay, so what happens is, like in exam paper, when we hand over the papers to the users, they write their own transactions, and once the exam is done, those two papers were not exactly same, correct? Because it is being used by different users, and they are writing different transactions. Same thing goes with database cloning. Once we clone it and hand over the database, because the transactions in the productions are different and the transactions in the quality database are different, correct? So this makes the quality database dirty, or this actually deviates the quality database from the production, because quality team might insert, update, delete, and do a lot of things over there, correct? So in this case, what happens is quality team will say, hey, you know what, every month what you do is you refresh, or sorry, I used the wrong term, you clone the production database to quality database monthly once on the first of the month. So as a DBA, what we do, we literally perform the cloning of the production database to the quality team, so that they always have fresh data to perform the quality, whatever their quality test is. Okay. Next is test team. Now testing team, because they also perform a lot of tests, their database gets disturbed a lot. I mean, they might delete some data, they might delete some tables, and they perform rigorous testing. Now they request us that could you provide, or could you actually perform the clone every, or weekly once? Okay, maybe every Friday. Can you do it? Can you do it or not? Okay, so DBA, what they will do is every weekly, maybe on Saturday, on a weekend, they will clone the production database, and then they will give it to the test team. So now weekly they have the latest data from the production server. Next is the development team. Now development team, because they'll be developing the application, and again that will disturb the database. In this case, what happens is, like their requirement is, we should perform the cloning bi-weekly. So once in 2 weeks we clone the production server to the development database. So with this, what do we exactly conclude? Whenever you perform database cloning, there is something called as cloning frequency. How frequently do you want to clone the database? But remember, like our exam paper, mm, once you distribute, once you hand over the databases to the respective teams, the databases will not be same. This is one of the conclusions that we need to understand from this slide. Okay, I repeat once again, once we hand over the databases to the teams, the databases will not be same. Why? Because users are different, transactions are different, correct? So in this slide, what we have learned is, we have a production database, we have multiple teams, quality, test, and development teams, and every team wants their databases to be frequently cloned. Now that is something known as clone frequency. So it can be monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, and again, there might be further frequencies. Those are just an example depending on the client. Perfect. Now what happens at the end? Your teams are really happy. Perfect. Okay, so let's move on. So what exactly is database cloning? Database cloning is simply creating a database copy at a particular time. Over here, we need to understand what exactly is the meaning of this word, or this group of words, at a particular time. For this, I would take paint. Where exactly is paint? Yes. And let me explain you this one. Okay. See, guys, we need to understand the database timeline. Okay, so this is the database timeline. Just assume that it is proceeding forward in the time, and these dashes are the dates. Okay, so today is like 29th. Okay, perfect. This is 28, 27, 26, 25, and 24. Right now, on 26th, we have a DB backup. Perfect. On 26, we have the database backup, And currently the database is over here. It is moving forward in the time. This is the normal database timeline. Okay, so this database backup is there, but there was an issue reported on 27th. Some guy from application team, he said like, you know what, I encountered an error on 27th morning 10 a.m. Okay, on 27th 10 a.m. Now what we need to do is, this is reported to the test team. So what is the job of the test team? The job of the test team is to recreate or regenerate the error. Perfect. So what testing team will do is they will ask the DBA team, hey, you know what? Can you clone the production server as it was at 10 a.m. on 27th? See, on the timeline, we are over here. Today is 29th, but we can definitely accommodate this request as well. So basically, there are two types of cloning. One is like a backup based cloning. You have a backup. Now, what we do is like in this case, we have this backup, right? We restore from this backup, and plus we actually recover exactly till 27th 10 a.m. Right? Recover 27th till 10 a.m. and then open the DB. Now, testing team can definitely see the bug because the clone database, that is B6PT, this is a test database, right? B6PT is open exactly how it was on 27th 10 a.m. Definitely testing team can view the error, or and they might proceed with their debugging steps and what all. So once again, guys, I mean, why this example? Because over here, this might be a misleading term. Database cloning is simply creating a database copy at a particular time. Now, this particular time, in this case, of course, we are creating the clone on 29th. Perfect. Cloning activity is being done on 29th, but at a particular time means what time from the source database you are going to open the DB. In this case, this is the time at which we are going to open the clone database. So how my source database, the production database was on 27th 10 a.m. I'm going to open this clone database. Okay, so this time is exactly the particular time. It is not really the activity time when you're performing. It is the time at which you're cloning or you're going to open the clone database. Perfect. So database cloning is simply creating a database copy at a particular time. Okay, great. Let us move forward. Now, once database cloning is done, the database will not continue to be same as the users will execute different transactions. Now, relating it back to our exam paper, same thing. Once we hand over the test database to the test team, once we hand over the production database to the, okay, production will continue to be with the production users, right? So quality team, test team, and development team, they will continue to execute their own transactions, and that might make the database dirty, or probably the test development and QA databases will not be same as the production server. Now, cloning activity can be one time or can have a frequency known as cloning frequency. Now, what exactly is this one time? See, there are some clients, you have production server, this is prod server, and then they just want to create a copy. So what they do is like, they create a copy of this one. Let's take this as a test server, and then I mean, they never want uh, again or kind of a cloning frequency that needs to be executed, maybe monthly, weekly, daily, or bi-weekly. There is no cloning frequency over here. It is only one time. This also might happen. There is a testing that you want to do. You just clone it one time and then done. Or there are areas like the example that we have seen. You might also have cloning frequency monthly, bi-weekly, weekly. It depends, right? So that's why cloning activity can be one time or can have a frequency which is known as cloning frequency. Perfect. So with this slide, we conclude what exactly is database cloning. in database cloning, remember one thing: once the cloning is done, the databases are handed over to different users. The databases will never be same because transactions are different, users are different. Perfect. If we have a cloning frequency, maybe at that point of time when you perform the clone every week on Friday example, then exactly on Friday when you hand over the system, that time the databases might be same. But again, once you hand over, you never know, users are different, transactions are different. Perfect. Now, how database cloning is done in Oracle? Okay, so first of all, we have backup based duplication, or you can also call it as backup based cloning. Okay, one more thing, when I say cloning, duplication, these two are like words used vice versa. So don't get confused over there. If I say duplicate or cloning, it's just same. Yes, there is a difference between cloning and refresh, which we are going to see in some time, but cloning and duplicate both are one and the same. So backup based cloning, it is pretty simple, like the example that we have seen earlier. On a timeline, today is 29th, right? And on 26th, we had an issue at 12 noon. So testing team wants to actually, you know, wants to regenerate the error. So they will ask the DBA team, can you uh, clone the production database as it was on 12 noon on 26? So what we do is we actually check the database for the backups which are taken before 26. Why do we do this one? Because Arman is a forward technology. I cannot restore the database from a backup which is taken on 27th and then move the database back in time. This is not possible. Arman is a forward technology. It is not a backward technology. So what I need to do is maybe on 25th, there was a backup, database backup. I restore from this backup and then recover it exactly till 26th, 12 noon. Okay. So I restore this backup on a different server. This is a different server and this is a production server. So this might be the test server. Over here, I restore from the 25th backup of the production, and then I apply the archives on this test server from 25th backup till 26th 12 noon, and then open the DB. This is known as a backup based duplication. We have a backup and I want to clone the database using the backup. We are not at all disturbing the database. Database continues to run on its own timeline. Perfect. We have a backup, or you can also trigger a backup and then use that backup to clone the database. That is known as backup based duplication. So when we say backup based cloning, does that mean there is any live cloning? Can I clone from the live running database? Yes, that would be our next point. But before I go on to the next point, the backup based cloning is actually done using the cold backup, hot backup, or Arman backups. If you have a cold backup, if you have database hot backup, if you have Arman backups, you can clone the database, right? Remember, this is entire database cloning I'm talking about. So next is active database cloning. What exactly is active database cloning? Your database is running right now, and I want to clone it right away from the database. I don't want to take a backup. I want to just clone from the live running database. Yes, we can do it. In Arman, we have an Arman duplicate command from the active database. While your database is running, it will exactly clone the database. Now, there might be a question over here. Trust me, that was my doubt as well. And I researched a little bit on that doubt. So I'll talk about it over here. The question is like, see, the database is running right now. Understand this is database and this is the timeline on which it is running. Perfect. We are exactly over here. Now at this stage, I perform active database cloning. Perfect. What exactly happens when I issue the arman duplicate command? Understand, I'm issuing this command exactly at 10 a.m. Okay. What arman will do is it will literally clone from the active database, but the time, which time it will take. See, I issue the command exactly at 10 a.m. So the database will be cloned as it is at 10 a.m. That means time is taken from the time. I mean, this is a confusing statement. Time is exactly picked up when you hit the enter in the duplicate command. Okay. So if I hit the command exactly at 10 a.m., so the database as it is when you hit the command, it will take that as the time and start performing the cloning, right? So that is exactly the active database cloning. Now, the second question is like, how does a database define the transactions? Because it is live running database, it is active, and people are querying and modifying the database. So when you hit the enter, it will actually clone only the committed transactions. Okay, only the committed transactions will be uh, cloned when you hit enter, because there's no point in actually cloning the transactions which are currently in the memory and they are not yet committed. We don't know if user might issue a rollback later on, but as per the database asset properties, right? ACID, correct? The asset properties, we should know that only the committed data should be presented to the users. Uncommitted data will never be cloned. So that was my confusion, and I think that will help you guys to understand what exactly is active database cloning. So once again, active database cloning, yes, that is the cloning done from the live running database. But the issue in that one is like when you hit enter, exactly that time is taken as the clone time. So how your database is when you hit enter, exactly same will be cloned onto the other server. Perfect. And uncommitted transactions, they will never be cloned. So what is the next type of cloning in Oracle? We also have a database template based cloning. Okay, this is surprising. I think most of the time when I speak with working DBAs, they say like it's not possible. But I have actually put up a video on YouTube on my channel. Okay, let me pause this video. Okay. Now, this video is available on my channel, Database Cloning via DBCA. This is simplest database cloning method, which I have put up. And okay, guys, one more thing. All the links which I'm going to use in this presentation, like the my books, and there are few more links which we are going to open during the session. I'll be sending all these links once the webinar is done to all of you. Okay, so that you can also go through these links. Don't worry. Now, this activity will define how can you use DBCA, Database Configuration Assistant. Now, you might say, come on, Arun, DBCA is used to create, delete databases. But yes, you have a method where you can perform a small clone, but this should be used only for very small databases. Let me talk about this a little bit because actually we are not going to see any practicals over here. That will be completely out of the time range. So what I'll do is I'll give you a simple example. In DBCA, when you run, you might have seen some templates, right? The general purpose template, correct? And then you have data warehouse. The same way you yourself can create your own template. So how do you create your own template? Using DBCA, you can create a new template of the existing database. Let's take I have B6P. Okay, and I create a template. Now I name the template as B6P clone template, right? So what will happen is whenever I want this template, I can actually send this template to other servers, maybe test server and all. And on the test server, I again initiate DBCA. Then in this screen where I get general purpose template, data warehouse template, I'll also get this one B6P clone template. And then I can use this template and perform the cloning. So this is one simplest method, but remember this should only be used whenever your database size is very less. Maybe for very small databases, somewhere anything which is below 100 GB. Okay, don't go with this method when the database size is bigger than 100 GB. That will create trouble actually, because this cannot really take big databases. Perfect, guys. So the database cloning in Oracle is of three types. One is backup based cloning, and then you have active database cloning. Also, you can clone the database using database templates. Perfect. Let's move on. What are the cloning levels in Oracle? Let's go back to our test team, development team, and also the quality team. Not always they need the entire clone of the database. Let's take product team only wants to or sorry, the quality team only wants to work on the sales table, so they need only table level cloning, right? Why would you clone the entire database? It's like wastage of resources. Perfect. The same way, let's take testing team wants cloning of only one schema. They are working on Scott schema, for example. Now, why would you clone the entire database when they want only the Scott schema, right? The same way, there might be different levels of cloning. Let us look at those cloning levels in Oracle. The first one is entire database cloning. We can perform the entire cloning. Like you can use cold backups, you can use hot backups, you can use RMAN, and you can also use DBCA templates. Perfect. These are only cloning levels, and over here I am specifying the cloning technologies or the tools that you can use to perform the clone, right? Next, we have schema cloning. Let's take testing team only wants to work on Scott schema. So we won't really bother about cloning the entire database. We would do an schema export and import, or we could use data pump, right? Next, we have table cloning. Once again, we'll use export, import, or data pump. Like our quality team wants only sales table, then we will not really clone the entire database. And then if there is only row cloning involved, because that is also one option we have in export, import, and data pump. So definitely we can use this method, export, import, to perform the row cloning. Perfect. I understood database cloning. Then what is database refresh? Okay, guys, this is one of the most confusing terms for a DBA. When people say that, can you refresh my database? Can you clone my database? These two terms are literally confusing, and I would like to take a minute to explain you what exactly is database refresh. So let us go back to Paint. Okay, so what happens in database cloning? I'll consider two examples, and then we'll understand what is database cloning and database refresh. See, we have database one, and then we are performing the clone. This is prod, and this is test. Now, once I perform the cloning, at the time of cloning, okay, both the databases will be exactly same, right? Over here on the timeline, both the databases are exactly same. Now, once I hand over the databases to the respective team, I say that test team, your cloning is done. You can, okay, not your cloning, the database cloning is done, and you can go ahead and use the database. So once we hand over, then both the databases, production will continue to have its own transactions, right? So it will continue it in its own timeline. That will continue, but the test database will differ from this production timeline because users are different and transactions are different. So what will happen is I'm trying to draw it in a different way so that both the databases have a little bit of difference. Okay, so now when we see test database has already deviated from the production database because transactions are different. This is exactly called as cloning. So over here what we have done is clone, and then this is handover. After cloning, we have handed over the database. Now we don't know what exactly is going on inside the database. Whereas when it comes to refresh, this term is a little bit confusing, but I'll try to explain it in a better way. We have both the databases, and again, same testing team is asking us to clone the prod to the test database or on the test server. We perform the clone. This part is known as clone, right? Now, we are assuming both the databases started to continue their own timeline. And after 1 week, this is like post 1 week, okay? 1 week later, we get an email from the testing team saying that could you please refresh our test database. Now, in this case, the term refresh exactly means that applying the changes from the last clone only. Okay, once again, I repeat. Now, when see over here earlier, when we handed over the database continued in a different timeline. That is correct. But after 1 week at this stage, we need to refresh the test database. At this stage, I will not perform the entire clone. What I will do is I will capture the changes in the production from the last clone time till current time. Okay. And then I apply these changes back onto the test database, which will discard all these transactions and then once again make the test database exactly consistent as the production database. This is the meaning of refresh. So what is the meaning of refresh? Refresh means getting the changes or applying the changes onto a clone database. Okay, you never perform entire clone. So you will not completely scrub the test database. You will only capture the changes from the production from the last clone point, and then you attach it to the test database. The same thing continues. The same story continues over here like this. And after 1 week, again, the testing team is saying you to perform the clone or the refresh. What you do is over here, again, the test database continues to move into a different direction because transactions are different, users are different. So after a week, again, DBA team will capture these changes and then apply these changes onto the test database, making it exactly in sync like the production database. This is database refresh. This is database cloning, right? But the problem with the real-time world is, okay, we, yes, in Arman, there is a method you can perform refresh and you can get only the changes. But the problem is we know the difference between cloning and refresh. The application team or the end user does not know what is the meaning of clone or refresh in depth as per the DBA terminology. What they will do is they'll always use this term, can you refresh the database? And most of the times, people will not use the Arman refresh method. They will actually go for a full clone as a DBA. Whenever there is an email from the testing team that can you refresh the database, our DBAs will actually perform the clone. So what exactly is cloning? They will scrub the entire test database and they will perform a full clone and then hand over it to the application team. These two terms are used interchangeably. Um, Possibly the reason is like we cannot really ask the end user to use a particular term like clone and all. They will continue to use refresh, and also we as a DBA, uh, if we do a cloning, that also makes complete sense. If we do a refresh, that also makes complete sense, because end of the day, the time at which you are performing the cloning, the databases must be same, right? Again, this time is the time at which you copy the production to the test, not the activity time. Perfect. So these two terms are very confusing, but remember, in Arman, there is a way to only refresh the databases. You capture the changes and apply the changes. That's it. That will literally discard the changes which are made onto the test server. Great. So now we also know what exactly is cloning and also what is refresh. So database refresh is the activity where we only get the changes from the last clone point and apply it to the clone database. Wow, great. And next, many DBA call cloning as refresh. Okay, I'll share my example with you. I was working in a team where the DBAs used to use this term called as refresh. So I used to think like, okay, these guys might use Arman refresh method, but then I got to know like they call it as a refresh activity, but they perform only a full cloning. Okay, now these two terms are used interchangeably. Don't get confused. Mostly people call it as a refresh and a cloning, but if you zoom in and look at the refresh word, yes, you can get the changes from the production and from whatever your last clone point is, and then apply it onto the clone DB and making it in sync. Perfect. Now we know what exactly is database cloning, right? So database cloning, very simple, creating a copy of the database, handing it over to the teams, and from there the teams will continue to run their own transactions. At any given point of time after you hand over the databases, both the databases might or might not be same because transactions are different. What exactly is this replication? As per dictionary, cloning and replication both are same. But as a DBA, these two terms are not same. We need to understand the fine difference between both of them. Let us start. Let's go back to the school. Okay, so the same example. Okay, example, nice rhyming. So we have the same example over here. We have a question paper that is developed by our teacher, and we want to conduct the exam for again two people. So what we exactly do is we clone the question paper. Question papers are cloned. But at this stage, I would like to remind you something. Earlier, if you remember, John failed the exam and Mike passed the exam, correct? Now we'll use that example over here. So what John thought, like, why not I cheat from Mike? Okay, so this time John has planned to cheat from Mike just to clear the exam. So what happens is whatever Mike writes in his answer sheet, the same John will write. Now the transactions are started. We have given the papers. Mike starts to write the answer. The first answer is A. John copies the answer, that becomes A. And mm, Mike writes B as the second answer. John also writes B. Now at this stage, I would like to stop. Even if we compare right now, both the papers are exactly same, correct? The third answer given by Mike is A. John copied the same answer. The answer is A for John as well. And then Mike continues to answer the fourth one as B. John also copies the same answer. Again, I would like to stop. At this stage, again, if we compare both the papers are exactly same. Let it be transaction wise, question wise, everything is exactly same, right? Let's continue. Now, Mike answers the fifth question as B, and John also answers fifth question as B. So at any given point of time, when we compare both the papers are exactly same, whether it is transaction wise, whether it is question wise, you watch the papers at any angle, it is exactly same. So what happens at the end? Both the students pass the exam, correct? What exactly do we conclude out of this slide? John is a cheater. Okay, that's a silly point. We know that John is the cheater, but at this stage, the context that I have used this example is completely different. In this example, we had one database, that is production database, and we cloned the production database, and then we handed over the database to two users. But even after handing over, whenever we stop and look at the transactions, or whenever we stop and match the databases, they are exactly same. Okay, so two steps over here. First one is we have to cloning should be there, and then we set up called as replication. So what John did was John actually replicated every transaction which Mike was executing on his question paper, correct? So two things: first you have to clone, and then you have to set up a replication. I'll come back how to set up replication and all later on. Okay, let us just talk about the the different I mean about the replication. Yeah, So let's proceed with this example. We will map this example with our databases. What exactly is database replication? Once again, we have our production database, that is B6P, and then we have three teams: quality, test, and development team. Okay, so for quality team, B6PQ is the database, and then what we do is we set up replication. We set up a replication from production to the quality database. Now quality team wants that whenever there is a transaction on sales table in production, the same transaction should be executed onto the quality database. Okay, let's take there is an update in the sales table. That same update command should be executed onto the quality. If there is an insert statement into the sales table, the same insert statement should be executed onto the quality database. Perfect. So this is replication, like you clone the database and then you define which level of replication you want to set up, right? The same way testing team wants to have a schema. Let's take Scott schema is there, and we want to make sure whenever there is a transaction issued by Scott schema on the production, the same transaction or the same query must be executed onto the test database B6PT. Now this is known as schema or single schema replication. And then you also have entire database replication. Whatever is executed onto the production, I want same thing to be executed onto the development. So with this one, we can define something called as replication level. There are different levels of replication. You can perform a single table replication. You can perform single schema replication. You can perform entire database replication. And what exactly is the benefit? The benefit is all the three teams are happy. And at the same point of time, DBAs are also happy because those teams are not going to come and tell you, hey, can you perform the clone or the refresh? Perfect, because replication is there. Whenever there is a transaction that is executed onto the production, depending on the replication level, the same transaction will appear onto quality test and development, right? So there's no point over there to perform database clone. Of course, you need to perform cloning only for the first time. But once you set up the replication, automatically transactions will be replicated, copied, like how John copied, I mean, the questions or the answers from the mic paper, right? So the same thing continues with the database also. We have different levels of replication, and this replication is done by replication technologies. We'll also talk about replication technologies in some time. Okay, so let's move on. What exactly is database replication? Database replication is making two databases transactional consistent. Okay, I would like to take a minute to explain cloning and replication once again on plain paper, just in case to make sure things are exactly fine. Okay, again, two cases. One, we have the production database. At this stage, we are cloning it to the test database. This is clone, okay? Prod, and this is test. I perform this cloning, okay? Once cloning is done, and when we hand over the databases, what happens? Production continues on its own timeline, correct? But test might differ on the timeline because the users are different and they are executing different transactions. This is cloning. Once cloning is done and once you hand over, the databases will not be same. But what exactly is the replication? I have my production database. This is prod and this is test. So at this stage, uh, I have cloned the database. Cloning is done. Okay. And after cloning is done, once exactly I'm done with the cloning, I set up replication. Now again, replication depends on the replication level, whether you want to perform a table level, schema level, or an entire database level. After I set up the replication, what happens is every transaction that is executed in the production, the same will be executed onto the test. Okay, like this. This is prod. The same transactions go in onto the test database. This way, at any given stage when I want to compare both the databases, they will be exactly same. Now again, It depends on the replication level. If you perform a schema level replication, then schemas will be same. Databases might be different, right? If you perform only a table level replication, tables will be same, and maybe other tables might or might not be same. Correct? This is known as replication. Now, can you see the difference? Cloning, the databases continue on a different timeline. Replication, database actually run parallel. Like whatever happens in production, same will go in the test or the replicated database. Great. So now we know the difference between the cloning and replication, and we also know what exactly is database refresh. So once you set the replication, like we understood just now, we have to clone first. After cloning, we start the replication, right? And so once you set the replication, both databases will have same transactions executed at source and the target. Now, depending on the replication level you set, the transaction that is executed against the source database, that will be exactly replicated onto the target database. Now, unlike cloning, replication keeps both source and target same. If you set up table level replication, both tables will be exactly same. If you set up schema level replication, schemas will be exactly same. And if you set entire database level replication, definitely databases will be same. Again, when I call them as same, there might be cases like you get the transactions from the production and then you might modify at the target. Now, again, there are a lot of permutations and combinations over there, but right now we are trying to understand things from a very general perspective. Perfect. So we are done with what exactly is cloning and we are done with what exactly is replication. Now, what are the types of replication that is available in the market? What you can do is the simplest one is unidirectional. You have a source, you have a target. Like we have production team and quality team. Quality team only wants the sales table from the production. Then you only configure the unidirectional replication. If there is a change in source, that will be replicated onto target, but vice versa is not possible. Like whatever changes quality team will make to the sales table, that will not go back to the source. Okay, it is only one way replication. Any change in the source will be replicated onto target, but vice versa won't affect. Now let us assume vice versa also we want. That comes under bidirectional replication. Now any changes made onto the sales table on the production, that will be replicated onto target, but any changes made by the quality team on the sales table also will be replicated onto the production. This is known as bidirectional replication. So whatever changes happen at the source, that will be moved on to target. In this case, source and target both act as source and target, right? Because they are target and source to each other. The next level of replication is known as broadcast replication. Let's take you want to send one table or one schema to different databases. One is test database, one is development database. In this case, you set up something called as broadcast replication. The same data is being replicated to multiple databases. And there is also known as integration replication. Let's take there is a sales database and there is a product database, and you want to combine both of them into one database or consolidate. This is also known as consolidation replication. Okay, so that is also possible very much over here. Now these are the different basic replication types. In real time you might see very complex type of replications. Like one example I can give you, I'll try this one. Okay. In this case, let's take this is broadcast replication, right? And this is integration replication. Over here, you combine both of them, and at this stage, you set up unidirectional. Okay. So I am bringing this concept over here. So this becomes one type of replication. This is complete one big setup of replication. I have broadcast replication plus unidirectional replication plus integration replication. I can definitely set up this kind of things as well in our replication types. So a lot of permutation and combinations are again available over there, how you want, depending on the client requirement, you set up the replication. And it is not only limited to this one, there is also called as peer-to-peer replication. Like you have one database, this is second and third, and then you set up bidirectional replications like this. So they are talking to each other, and whatever transactions are happening, they are being replicated onto the different system. This is also known as peer-to-peer replication. Okay, so let me erase the things. Okay, it's not working. What happened? Let me try erase all on the slide. Perfect. Now this is what we call as replication types. Again, depending on the technology that you're using, replication levels and replication types might differ. There might be some limitations, but understand we are talking all this closely in relation to Oracle Golden Gate. Now, what are the replication tools which are available in the market? Now that we know, okay, what exactly is database cloning, we have seen what exactly is okay, what are the tools to perform the database cloning. Now let us look at the replication tools in the market. What are the famous, very famous replication tools in the market? The first one was, okay, I'm using this word was, Oracle Streams. Oracle Streams is literally depreciated in Oracle Database 12c. I have set up this link as well. Okay, let me, how do I, okay, how do I disable this one? I'm not sure. Okay, it's done. Now let me click on this one. From Oracle 12c onwards, you're not going to use Oracle Streams. They stress on using Oracle Golden Gate. You can see over here depreciation of Oracle Streams. Oracle Golden Gate is depreciated in Oracle Database 12c and may be de-supported and unavailable in a later Oracle database release. Use Oracle Golden Gate to replace the replication features of Oracle Streams. Perfect. Okay, so what you need to do is, like, from 12c onwards, you need to learn Oracle Golden Gate. That again gives you one reason to learn Oracle Golden Gate, right? So that was the first uh, replication tool which was on, I mean, Oracle 11g onward, till Oracle 11g, because from 12c you have to use Oracle Golden Gate, right? Next, Oracle Golden Gate is again the number one replication tool right now in the market. So from 12c onwards, we must use Golden Gate instead of Oracle Streams. So Oracle Streams de-supported, depreciated from 12c, and from 12c onwards, you have to use Oracle Golden Gate. Then we also have a competitor to Golden Gate that is known as SharePlex. It is from the Quest company. It is used for small amount of data instead of huge amount of data. I mean, when comparison, I mean, I tried to compare between SharePlex and Oracle Golden Gate. Of course, Golden Gate is pretty costly, but when you are having a small amount of data which needs replication, you would prefer going on to SharePlex rather than going on to Golden Gate. And then we also have Data Mirror, which is from IBM. That tool is also used for replication, but most of the companies we have found, like, they use it only for data extraction, not really for data replication. I mean, it is most favorable towards the data extraction from the databases. Now, these are the four replication tools which are competing at the top level right now in the market. I think the first one we can remove, the Oracle Streams, because that is completely depreciated. So three replication tools ruling the market: Golden Gate, SharePlex, Data Mirror. Of course, there are more, and depending on the client, what license they want to use, they really purchase the replication tools. Now, out of all this, Oracle Golden Gate is ruling the market. So now this leads us to discuss about what exactly is Golden Gate and what makes Golden Gate number one in the market. We need to know, right? Because Golden Gate, when it is ruling the market, then what exactly is making it rule the market? Why other competitors are not able to compete with Oracle Golden Gate? So what exactly is so special about Golden Gate? First of all, Oracle Golden Gate is used by top 3 of the 5 largest commercial banks in the world. Understand banking industry being the busiest when it comes to transactions, and out of all the busiest banks in the world, the top 3 out of the top 5 are using Golden Gate. Understand the potential of Golden Gate over here. It is used in top 3 of the 3 busiest ATM networks in the world. All the top 3 busiest ATM networks in the world are using Oracle Golden Gate. I think these reasons should be enough to uh, tell us the importance of Golden Gate and why, as an Oracle DBA, we should know Oracle Golden Gate. Next, it is used in top 4 of the 5 telecommunications providers in the world. Top 4 of the 5 telecommunications provider in the world. Now that seems to be a pretty much credible software which is being used by the busiest transactional industry, that is banking. You talk about ATMs and you talk about telecommunication. Of course, telecommunication is also an industry where the transactions are almost equal to the banking sector. But I think these three most important points gives us more reason why we should learn Golden Gate. We don't know whether we might land a job with these banks, ATMs, or maybe telecommunication companies, right? Of course, now this gives us one very strong reason why we should learn Oracle Golden Gate. What exactly is the power of Golden Gate? What can Golden Gate do that it impresses so much and all the world-class companies are using Golden Gate? Okay, one more point. I mean, apart from this slide, trust me, Oracle is banking a lot on Golden Gate. That means a lot of revenue share comes only from Golden Gate when it comes to entire Oracle revenue. Golden Gate contributes a very big share in Oracle's revenue. The best replication solution that enables near real-time replication. When we talk about near real-time replication, it's like when the transaction is executed on the production immediately with sub seconds, not even a complete second, I'm talking about sub seconds, the transaction will reflect onto the other system. It is so fast, so quick, and even for a lot of millions of transactions, when there are like if you uh, increase the number of transactions in a database, trust me, even if it crosses it has never crossed 1 minute, because when the volume of transaction increases, it might take 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or 20 seconds to reflect onto the other system, but it has never crossed somewhere around 45 to 50 seconds. All the transaction, let it be millions of transaction onto the production, they will be replicated within 40 to 45 seconds onto the other system, the target. So understand, for a normal transaction, if you hit one simple insert, it will reflect onto the target database within sub seconds, not even one complete seconds. That's the power of Oracle Golden Gate. So this makes it near real-time replication. Like something happening on production, it will be immediately, like the same transaction is being executed on source and target right exactly in the time. So that makes us near real-time replication tool. Next, it has the ability to capture the change as it occurs and route information. Like we know, it can make real-time replication only when it is powerful enough to capture the uh, what do you call changes immediately and then reflect it onto the target system. Of course, Golden Gate is very powerful in capturing the changes. Data on target reflects within sub-seconds. That is one of the amazing things about Golden Gate. And the best thing is it works normally like your TCP/IP protocol, how we have it in Oracle networking. Your listener and TNS entries talk over TCP/IP protocol, right? And then one of the biggest benefits, I think this one benefits this one benefit makes it stand out when compared to other products is heterogeneous database replication. Of course, the product name is Oracle Golden Gate, but the best part is you can set up replication between different vendors of the databases which are supported by Golden Gate. Now, in this case, you can see Oracle Golden Gate supported technologies. It should be actually database. So Oracle Golden Gate is supported for use on many common databases, including, now can you see Oracle database? Now you can set up Oracle database replication where your source is also Oracle database and your target is also Oracle database. And also you can set up replication to these many database vendors. Now in this case, your source might be any database. Let's take my source is Teradata, and I want to replicate Teradata database to Sybase. I can use Golden Gate. I want to replicate MySQL database into Oracle database. I'll use Golden Gate. I want to replicate Oracle to Microsoft SQL Server. I'll use Golden Gate. Now, this power of Golden Gate makes it literally stand out in the market. Whatever your sources, okay, not whatever, I mean the ones which are supported by Oracle Golden Gate, you use Golden Gate on these vendors. Now, these vendors can be your source or can be your target. Earlier, a lot of people assume that because this is a product by Oracle Golden Gate. Okay, one more thing, Oracle Golden Gate is not developed by Oracle, it is acquired by Oracle. It was a company started by two people. So in 2009 it was acquired by Oracle. Okay, so this product, Oracle Golden Gate, like whenever we hear it says Oracle Golden Gate, people think like it is made to perform replication or provide replication solution only for Oracle database, but that's not the case. Okay, great. So many amazing things about Golden Gate. And one more important thing, it helps you to perform replication on heterogeneous operating system. What is heterogeneous operating system? Let me go back to this example. Microsoft SQL Server runs only on Windows, right? I mean, I don't know if we can really run it on Linux. I have never tried it. But on a general note, this is a product from Microsoft. It will run only on Windows, correct? That means if I want to perform replication between Microsoft SQL Server and Oracle, that doesn't mean that Golden Gate can be installed only on Linux. Golden Gate is, I mean, it is available on multiple operating system. You can install it on Windows, Unix, Linux, and all. So depending on the vendor, because your database vendors support different operating system. Now, if you want to support the replication on a particular database vendor, the Golden Gate must also be able to support the operating system on which the databases are installed, right? The same way, again, this one point also makes Golden Gate stand out, that it is not platform dependent, it is platform independent. Over here, we get two new learnings. What are those two new learnings? First one is whenever you want to set up Golden Gate, you need to know what is your source and the target and check whether those source and the target are supported by Golden Gate. That is the first thing. And second, on which operating system the source and the target databases you are going to install, whether that operating system is also supported by a Golden Gate or not. So you need to check these two things. Okay, so Golden Gate provides us heterogeneous database replication on heterogeneous operating systems. Again, these benefits actually attract me personally also to give you guys one reason why you should learn Oracle Golden Gate. Okay, great. So who should learn Oracle Golden Gate? Now that's a pretty good question. Let's talk about who should learn Oracle Golden Gate. First things first, Oracle DBAs for amazing job perspective. You want to have amazing job career, amazing job perspective, you should learn Oracle Golden Gate. Let me click on this one, and I think I have one of the amazing links which will tell you why you should learn Oracle Golden Gate.
This is one LinkedIn article posted by one of my, not my friends. I got this link separately on WhatsApp one day. So I made a note of this one. Now, see, future of Oracle DBA. I think most of you might have already read this one because this was circulating a lot when it was published in the month of March. In this one, I will just scroll down. Understand this is future about Oracle DBA, and let me just show you one amazing point that will surprise you. If I were to choose the top 5 Oracle DBA skills of the future, they would be migrating applications and databases to and from the cloud. Golden Gate skills would be very much in demand. This is the first point over here where it says the top 5 Oracle DBA skills of the future. So understand the importance of Oracle Golden Gate. So Oracle DBAs who want to have amazing job perspective, they should definitely learn Oracle Golden Gate. Next, removes single technology from your resume. Okay, that's a funny statement, but I would like to give you an example to make you understand what exactly I mean from that statement. See, now you are promoting your resume as Oracle DBA. Perfect. This is your technology, right? Now, Oracle DBA is how much? One technology. It is only one technology that you are promoting your resume. But what if you remove Oracle DBA and you just say Oracle Golden Gate Expert? Now, what happens is Oracle Golden Gate supports how many databases? A lot of databases, right? This includes Oracle, Teradata, MySQL. Okay, guys, please forgive me for my writing. I'm not a good writer. So MySQL and Microsoft SQL Server. And then we also have DB2 and many more, right? So now over here, when you jump onto Oracle Golden Gate expert skills and when you try to market your resume, what happens is, let's take there is a company which is looking for Teradata to MySQL replication. What's the benefit? You are eligible to attend the interview. A company which is looking for SQL Server to DB2 replication, you're eligible for the interview because you know the tool which is used to configure the replication, right? Of course, you need to know a little bit knowledge about these databases, but not really at a level that you need to learn Oracle DBA because you invest a lot of time to become an Oracle DBA. But to set up replication, you don't need to be 100% DBA because every team will have their own DBAs, and you can collaborate with the SQL Server DBA, and then you can collaborate with DB2 DBA. You use your Golden Gate skills over here, and then set up the replication. So this way you actually remove the dependency from only Oracle database. You increase your marketability of your resume because Golden Gate is used by multiple vendors, and all these vendors will add up whenever they have a requirement. You stand a chance to appear for the interview. So it removes the single technology from your resume. You are not again dependent only on Oracle technology. Of course, Golden Gate is again from Oracle, but still. Database lead or architect, if you are a database lead or if you are a database architect, to propose great solution to your clients. In case if you are using old fashioned ideas to perform replication, then maybe you might propose an amazing idea to your client, save time, remove complexity. Might be you might have configured a lot of scripts which are taking a lot of time to complete the replication, but still, of course, you will have an edge where you can suggest client like we can use Golden Gate and we can configure this situation or we can handle this situation. Advantage of learning other databases, of course, because Golden Gate supports a lot of databases, then definitely you will have an edge that you can learn Golden Gate. Sorry, you can learn multiple databases along with the Golden Gate. Now, the next buzzword that we have is cloud. Of course, we see a lot of cloud stories these days. So there is a cloud movement that is going on. Okay. Now, I'm just looking at the time because I want to make sure. I feel like explaining about cloud, but that might extend the session. I'll take just 1 minute to explain about cloud. Very basic term. There is a company, they have physical server. Okay, this is physical server. And let's take this is AWS, Amazon Web Services, or we also have Azure, Google Cloud. Let's talk about AWS. AWS has servers in the cloud. Okay, this cloud is not really the cloud that you see in the sky. Okay, I mean, I'm just kidding. Um, Cloud simply means remote location. If I remove this physical server, I connect to a server which is on AWS premises using network. Okay, and this is known as cloud. Simple as that. Now, what's the benefit? If I maintain a physical server, there is a lot of administration, right? What is the administration? We need to make sure of power, backup, network, and other things. Now, all this administration headache is taken care by AWS. Your job is just to connect to your server, which is 24 by 7 up and running. Okay, so this is known as cloud. Now, because of the advantages of the cloud that we have, lot of people are migrating their databases from physical to cloud. So you as a DBA who can really shape, or you who can really help the companies migrate their physical servers to the cloud. And in this area, definitely Oracle Golden Gate Cloud Services is something which is booming up a lot. Okay, so Oracle Golden Gate Cloud Services is something which helps you to replicate, or literally move the physical servers to the cloud. Or let's take, you want to configure a replication between a cloud database and your physical server, then you will use Golden Gate, right? So that's why cloud movement, if a company or a business is moving to the cloud, you can use Oracle Golden Gate. And for cloud movement also, Golden Gate is a must. I have an amazing link over here which talks about the usage of Golden Gate in cloud, and I think this will interest most of you. And this again adds up one more reason why we should learn Oracle Golden Gate. Okay, so this is again another article on LinkedIn. Oracle Golden Gate Cloud Service replicate to the cloud. Now in this one, I'll just show you the diagrams that we have. Can you see over here? Oracle Golden Gate Cloud Service use cases. There are different use cases that you can use. And this is one perfect example. Like you have one server in Oracle Golden Gate, sorry, you have one server in Amazon Web Services, and you have two physical servers in your office. Okay. Now you consolidate. This is known as the integration replication. We just now looked at it, right? So we are consolidating or combining three databases into one database, which is on Oracle public cloud, right? The same way, we have one more example over here. One database we consolidated, and then from over here we are moving it to other databases. That is again using the Golden Gate. Now, data integration, Oracle Cloud, definitely. Okay, Oracle Cloud is again a separate topic. We are not talking about Oracle Cloud right now, but understand the importance of Golden Gate even in the cloud. See, people will keep on moving to cloud, whether they move or not, that is their choice. But whether it is a physical server or a cloud server, replication is a need they will always have. They might want to replicate from same vendor to same vendor, or they might want to replicate from Oracle to other vendors, right? So whenever there is a requirement of replication, transactional consistency, then they will jump onto Golden Gate. Wow. So what exactly do I want to conclude? Okay. The thing is, like, I would like to conduct an Oracle Golden Gate online training. And I decided this free webinar just because I can call you up and show you what different I want to do in this Oracle Golden Gate online training. Oracle Golden Gate is a technology that is taught by many people, but with the amount of power that Oracle Golden Gate has, the amount of benefits that Oracle Golden Gate has, I don't think it's so easy to learn Golden Gate. It's not quick. It's not like 2 weeks training and you become an Oracle Golden Gate expert. It's wrong. I personally don't believe in it. Maybe there might be people who are super trainers or super humans who can train on a technology that is being used by the top banks in the world, top telecommunication industries in the world. I doubt, but still, let me talk about the training that I want to conduct. This is an online training which I'm planning, and this training I'll be conducting in the next month. Actually, this is Oracle 12c Golden Gate complete online training, and it's a 2 months intensive Golden Gate training conducted only on the weekends. Okay, so I plan to conduct this training only on the weekends so that you get 1 week time to practice. Now, let me take a minute to talk about this training and then we'll continue with the slide. So we have key focus areas over here. These are the areas where exactly you will become master. And the reason why I designed this online training is like it is designed for Oracle DBAs who want to learn Oracle Golden Gate for configuring replication or job change, but struggles to start learning and prepare a practice environment at home. Because many people try to learn Oracle Golden Gate simply by Googling up or joining simple trainings, 1 week crash courses, but I don't think that really results in the desired uh, results. Again, whatever you desire, like you not really get the real flavor of Oracle Golden Gate, what exactly it is and how to use it in multiple database environment. So that's about the training schedule. I plan to start the training on 19th August and it will end on 15th October. It's a 2 months weekends only on Saturday, Sunday training. And this is the training schedule 5 p.m. IST. I have actually put up a link over here. If you click on this link, it will take you to World Time Buddy. This is a website in case if you're in a different time zone, maybe you can search your time zone and then match it up with my time zone, and then it will be easy for you to understand when the session is being conducted. It's only on the weekends. Now the duration of the training would be 1.5 hours each session over the weekend, but honestly, as I say, all my sessions are delayed always, so I would definitely never leave you before 2 hours, so that is guaranteed. Let us have or let us spend 2 minutes on the curriculum, because this is where I would like to differentiate this training from the other trainings. First of all, we'll start with the beginners training topics. This course is very intensive. This is not a course just to give you the overview, you configure Oracle to Oracle replication and go home. No, this course is designed to make you Golden Gate Master. And that's the reason this course is divided into two parts. First one is beginners, where you are introduced to the Oracle Golden Gate technology. Over here, we start with Golden Gate and then architecture, get into how to install Golden Gate, classic versus integrated capture, DDL replication, Oracle database replication, then configure replication in Oracle, Golden Gate data transformation, advanced features, and performance tuning. These are just the beginners topics where we'll be talking only about, we will only understand the Oracle Golden Gate technology. But the second part is very important, that is advanced training topics. These are for the experienced people. Even though if you're not having DBA experience, definitely after the beginners topics, this will interest you a lot. We'll actually start off with the Golden Gate monitoring tools. What are the tools you can use to monitor your replication? Then what exactly is Oracle Golden Gate Very Data? Again, this is also a monitoring tool. Then you set up bidirectional replication. like uh, I think we have seen what exactly is bidirectional replication. Then configure high availability on Golden Gate. Of course, we have Oracle Data Guard, but you can even configure high availability on Oracle Golden Gate. So that is something we are going to do in this lecture, then upgrading Oracle Golden Gate. How do you upgrade Oracle Golden Gate? And troubleshooting common Golden Gate issues. Those are the topics we'll be looking under the advanced training topics. After this one, we actually have a project work because, as I mentioned earlier, Golden Gate is something that we cannot pile up in a week and master the things. So I wanted to increase the complexity of this training. So how do we increase the complexity of the training is like by actually trying to get our hands dirty on multiple vendors database. We have two projects after the advanced topics. Project one would be Oracle to MySQL replication, and then project two would be MySQL to Oracle replication. Okay, sorry, this is Microsoft SQL Server. Basically, you are learning three vendors over here: Oracle to MySQL, and then Microsoft SQL Server to Oracle replication. So by the end of this course, you would be actually mastering three database technologies and learning how to perform Golden Gate replication between those technologies. And then we have a summary because I mentioned earlier, I want you to be ready for a job interview, or I want you to be ready to suggest replication ideas to your clients. We will have an overview of how Oracle Golden Gate can be used on cloud. Okay, so of course we cannot see the practicals because that will again prolong the session. But after so much of rigorous practice, you will definitely be able to get the idea how Golden Gate is used in cloud. And then you will work with me to prepare for Oracle Golden Gate interviews. We will work together to make you master in Golden Gate interviews. And finally, we'll conclude our session by Oracle Golden Gate certifications. What are the certifications, how to appear for the certifications, and definitely I'll help you with some certification material which will allow you to prepare for the certifications. So that's about me. That's I'm your instructor Arun Kumar, and over here this is my Facebook profile, and this will lead you directly to my blog again, aksgolu.com. Right, so let me close this one. So what are the frequently asked questions? There are some frequently asked questions on this training. Is it an online training video course? It's a 100% online training. Like today I'm using Google Hangouts via YouTube live events. But this training would be live, like we can communicate with each other. You can ask me questions, you can stop me. We'll be using GoToMeeting software to conduct the training. So how do I practice the lab exercise? This is where my course is unique when compared to the courses taken in the market. What I plan to do is I plan to actually give you the virtual machine export, which I'm going to use in the training with you. Like I have VirtualBox and I'll start installing the Linux. Once we start creating the virtual machines for our practice, the same virtual machine, I'll share it with you. So what happens is whatever I show you on my setup of virtual machines, you import the virtual machines which I send you and then configure the same VMs in your own local laptop. So you are exactly in sync with me. And technically, you can say that we are also kind of doing a replication in lab practice. Okay, so whenever we are meeting, I'll show and execute the commands on my virtual machines. And then like after weekend is done, from Monday to Friday, you have time to practice on your local system virtual machines as I do on my system in the live training. So that way I want to maintain a consistency that you get a practice environment. Second thing is most of the times the setup that is used by trainers are different than the students. So I don't want that kind of disturbance over here, because what happens is when trainers are using a different setup and when students are using different setup, there might be errors which students get which trainer do not understand, and sometimes trainer gets some errors which students don't understand why I did not get this error. So I want to maintain a consistency. Setup should be same, OS should be same, VMs should be same, and then we practice one by one simultaneously. So I demonstrate all the practicals and whatever we are learning on the weekend, and you have time from Monday to Friday to practice on your virtual machines. Next thing is, what if I miss the online training? Don't worry, all the online sessions are recorded. In case if you miss any of the online session, you can always refer the recorded video lectures and continue to learn. Okay, and how long do I have access to the recorded lectures? Right? So you get actually 3 months of access to watch recorded lectures with no extra cost. I mean, I don't charge any extra amount for you to watch the recorded lectures, and you will have actually access for 3 months. Perfect. So that's about this course. I think this course, I prepared the content by investing a lot of time. Why? Because I wanted a course which is really in depth. So basically, I want you to appear directly for a job interview. I don't want you to, most of the times I have seen students, they go for a training, and after the training they invest again 1 or 2 months to master the training or master the practicals and then appear for job interview. Now the disconnect over there is like when the student is practicing after the training is done, the trainer is not available to answer the questions. At that stage, I feel there is a very long disconnect, which I don't want. And that's the reason I have a gap between the sessions. And that is one big reason why we are conducting the sessions only over the weekends, because you get time from Monday to Friday, practice, ask the questions on the next weekend, and then we continue. Gift hamper. Wow, this is something I was waiting. And before the start of the training, I told you there is a gift hamper for everyone. All the people who are attending this webinar, there is a gift hamper for all of you. And to be honest, this will be available for people who will watch the recording as well. Okay, what exactly is this gift hamper? Let me click on this gift hamper and look what we get. And this is something for everyone. Now understand this Oracle 12c Golden Gate Master Training. I call it as a master training. I would like to give you guys 86% discount on the original price. I'm honest, 86%. This $700 course, I am opening it for only $100 for you to enroll and create your career as an Oracle Golden Gate expert. Remember, 86%, guys. And this is something why the first reason why I want to give so much of discount is like I'm very energized to take this Oracle Golden Gate training, because I want to challenge the other. I mean, not really open challenge. I want to see like how come other trainers are teaching Golden Gate in just 1 week, where it is just not possible to digest the capabilities of Golden Gate in 1 week. And that's the reason. And this being the first Golden Gate batch officially, not really. I have definitely taken a lot of Golden Gate batches normally, but this is official batch which I want to call you all. And okay, call you all. That's again rhyming. Great. So 86% discount, guys. And I want you all to enroll into this course. But before you enroll into the course, I would want you to make sure the training schedule is matching your schedule. Again, if it is not matching, you have the recorded videos for 3 months. Walk through the curriculum, and in case if you still have doubt, trust me, you can bet on this project work. This project will teach you something which is not at all given in the market. No other trainer gives you experience on 3 database technologies where you can practice replication. Now, this should give you enough confidence in order to enroll for this training. So let me once again reiterate about this training. Trust me, guys, you design your own lab, because I'll be sharing the virtual machines with you and you will work exactly in sync with me, right? You work on three database technologies to set up the replication. You not only work on Oracle, you also work on MySQL and SQL Server. You learn how to use Golden Gate for cloud, and you will be directly interview ready. You don't need to invest time after the training to really prepare, practice, and then appear for the interview. I actually want you to appear directly for the job interview right after the training is done. And we will actually conclude the Golden Gate training by preparing you for Golden Gate certification. So remember, guys, 86% discount. I have limited seats. Honestly, I cannot accommodate like any number, 50, 40 people. That will be huge numbers. But we have limited seats. It's on first come, first serve basis. So you get that discount. I will be sharing all the links which are used in this slide after the webinar is over via an email. And also I'll be sharing the recorded video with all of you. Okay. And then we'll definitely take it forward, right? Okay. Questions. So let's use the live chat option. And if you have any questions, please write those questions to me directly. I would want to see your questions, and let's see how many of them I can answer. So I see there is one question: how much experience is required for Golden Gate profile? Actually, again, Golden Gate profile depends on your database experience. Yes, it is related somewhere because it's being an Oracle product. Definitely people expect you to be a Oracle database expert. That is there, right? So yes, that is there. I mean, you need to have a minimum 3 to 4 years of experience in order to get into Oracle Golden Gate profile. Yes. Come on, guys. It's your time to actually post your questions. So if you have any questions, you can use the live chat below the webinar video and type in your questions. And honestly, I believe I've taken a lot of time over here. The webinar was scheduled to end within 1 hour, but how much I've taken, like in next 15 minutes will be close to 2 hours. And as I mentioned earlier, it's my habit, okay, to extend the sessions. I'm here, guys. If you have any questions related to Golden Gate, let me know. We have a couple of minutes. Or also, I encourage you to send me questions once we are done with the session. You can reply to my emails. Hi, will you help for DB2 to Oracle? Technically, yes. I mean, I can I can help you guys with the DB2, but maybe because DB2 not being part of the training, what I can do is I can give you guys replication documents which you can use to set up DB2 to Oracle replication using Golden Gate. I think that will help you, right? Yes. So DB2 to Oracle, I will share document with you. I mean, not you. We can share it with everyone else. Yeah. So can I get the materials in the course? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why my phone started ringing. Okay. Can I get the materials in the course? Yes, you will definitely get the material of the course. There is PDF material that you will get, and there are scripts that you will get separately to configure the replication. So yes, you will get the material, and also you will get the virtual machines export, which you can import in VirtualBox and practice as I practice in the live sessions. That's it, guys. Okay, so I think it's a good time to conclude the webinar. I believe no more questions. What you can do is once I send you the email with the important links and how to reserve your seat for the Golden Gate training, then maybe in case if you have questions, you can reply back to me. Great. So no more questions. Okay, we have one more. Can I get the materials in the course? I need printed material of Oracle data with ASM lab practice. Okay, for that one we have what do you call ebook. I think what you can do, you can order online, you will get it, or you send me an email. I can help you with the 11G to 12C data guard with ASM lab practice printed material. Yeah, I can help you with that one. Is Golden Gate available on standard edition? Is there additional licenses for a company to use it? Yes. Technically, to be very frank, I never talk about licenses. Why? Because if you talk to two vendors of Oracle dealers who are dealing with the Oracle products, they will always have two different pricing. The best solution for licensing, which I don't talk, is I always recommend you to talk to Oracle, because who's the owner, talk to them, get the clear solution. I might give you something. If you talk to three vendors, they will give you three different pricing, and trust me, it's all mess, and I don't understand why there is no standardization in the pricing part when it comes to a company like Oracle, and when they have such great products. But still, licensing is something I think they should improve on. And Golden Gate being one of the major shares uh, for Oracle to generate their revenue, definitely the pricing is very high. When I say very high, people not really tend to go for Golden Gate unless they are one of the biggest players in the market, like the best banks in the world and the best telecom industries in the world. Hi, can we replicate both direction from on prem DC to AWS RDS? I think we need to check. Honestly, I'm not sure about prem DC. Okay, you mean to say premises, the physical data center to AWS RDS? Um, I mean, one way I've tried, but I'm not sure with the other way. I think you should be able to. Yes, I thought prem DC is some database vendor. Okay, I got confused over there. Mm, mm. I would personally request you to go through the Golden Gate course content. And honestly, as I plan to launch Golden Gate ebook on Amazon, I plan to actually give it free of cost to all the students of this training, because I think that makes a lot of sense, right? Mm. Yes, there are some restrictions on BLOB. Yes, there are some restrictions on the Golden Gate. See, once we get into the topic, there are a lot of new things you will understand. It's not as easy as we have seen in the slides to set up replication. There are a lot of things which goes in. And also there are areas where there are exceptions, and we'll be learning how to overcome those exceptions. So if there is something that is not supported by Golden Gate, then how do we overcome it? There are separate scripts that we'll be learning. So guys, this video webinar is definitely being recorded by me, and also it will be available on my YouTube channel. Once you have any doubts, you reach out to me. My goal is to share all the links which I've used in the webinar with you after we end the webinar. Maybe I will definitely take a break and then share the things with you. right? Yeah. Okay. By the way, the email ID to contact me is hello@oraclegenesis.com. You can contact me anytime. I'll probably write it over here, or rather than that, I'll show it on my website. On this website, if you go to the contact, okay, this will not work. Okay, this is disturbing. I think over here, contact. Let me try this one. Yeah. So oraclegenesis.com/p/contact. This is the email address you guys can write in, right? So in case if you have anything, send me an email. And to be very frank, I love to hear what are your thoughts on the webinar. Send me if you like the webinar. Send me if you don't like the webinar. I'll probably try to improve on the webinar. Honestly, the last webinar I conducted was 6 months back. I committed that point of time I will conduct one webinar per month free of cost. And trust me, I was not on my promise because I was busy with the other stuff. And I'll try if I can commit the same going forward. I'm not sure, but I'll try my best. Send me whatever thoughts you have. hello@oraclegenesis.com. I'll respond to all your emails, whatever it is. And yes, so I hope to see you in the training. Let's try to learn Golden Gate together. I'm too excited for this training because this type of training which is so complex when it comes to Golden Gate, I have personally never seen in the market. Let's see how the training will go. So we have one message from thanks for this webinar. It would be great if you can arrange a webinar on Golden Gate integration to Kafka and other queue messaging services. Yes, Golden Gate also have messaging services support. Honestly, Vikram, to be very frank, I have not worked on that. Maybe I'll try to arrange something from my contacts so that it can benefit you, but I don't commit on it. Maybe that might be something which might take good amount of time. It's okay. I mean, if I get an update on that one, maybe I can try to send a bulk email to all the people who have registered for the webinar. Now, with no more questions, and sorry for taking you such a long time to complete the webinar. I thought of completing it within one 1 hour. So we have, can we get discount if we have? Of course. I mean, that's the gift, right? We are having, that's the gift. Okay, so you mean to say discount if we have enroll for all the trainings from you? Again, guys, if you want to go for video courses, that's a separate case. I mean, I work very hard on videos to complete, but most of the times I end up with the online trainings. Yes, I mean, you can send me your query, what training you're looking at. I generally tend to take the trainings which are exciting and the trainings which I believe will make a difference to students. I don't take trainings to make money. I take trainings to actually help people get into the career, because the call which I get after the training when students call me and say that Arun, you know what, I got the job. That is something I am very desperate to listen, and that is something I literally work for it. So I think that is one thing which creates a difference when it comes to training with me. Honestly, I don't bank on trainings to make money. I mean, that should be clear. Yeah, and only from you. Yes, all the trainings at Oracle Genesis are by me only. Earlier, I'll just tell you, share this scenario with you. In 2012, we had a trainer. Uh, whom I allowed to take the training. But what happened was soon, only after 2 sessions, every student said like, you know what, we want to go for training only with Arun. And then I made it a lesson, and we don't have any more trainers. I'm the only one. I take care of the things. So what I do is, like, if I get a training for the same topic for which I have already conducted the training, I generally give you guys discount to watch the recorded videos, and then I think if you have questions, you can send me an email. If you want me to log in, mm, and if something needs my attention to log in and work with you on your system, I would definitely do that. So yes, if you have any training requirements which you want only to be taken by me, you can send it. And honestly, if I know it, I'll definitely take the online training. Sometimes I also get training requests for things which I don't know. Yeah, that is something. Okay, guys, going out of the track, how would you feel about a cloud webinar? Because that is something goes in my mind. I mean, if you want the cloud webinar next, just give me a thumbs up in the chat, and I'll be preparing for it. Maybe we can have a webinar next month. I'll try to commit to this. I think cloud webinar should be very exciting. We can talk about what exactly is AWS, what exactly is Microsoft Azure, the Google Cloud, and yeah, I mean, I can explain you guys what exactly is cloud and why people are running behind the cloud. And trust me, guys, on a general note, keep yourself updated with the technology, because market is right now disturbed. I would say not really that great, but it is literally running or pacing in a different angle. Okay. When I say pacing in a different angle, that means everybody knows how cloud is taking over the things, and you being in a role that is Oracle DBA, you need to also move along with the market, how it is moving. So I believe, first of all, the time when you have chosen to become a DBA, that time you would have been already clear that it should be a constant learning. It should not be something like, okay, I know database administration and I stop and I can make money every time. So that's not the case with DBA. You need to literally practice every time. I mean, you need to increase your skills going forward. Like Golden Gate is something you can bet on. Maybe you might land a job in the best banks which are using Oracle Golden Gate, right? And honestly, guys, my plan is to transition the DBAs into cloud DBA, like how you can literally become a cloud DBA, how to transition uh, like from physical server. Okay, that's me right there again on the screen. So it's like, actually I have two systems, because one is for me to read what exactly you're writing in the comments, and this one for the presentation. Sorry, what I was talking about. Yeah. My plan is like the general DBAs. Whenever like people right now who want to become a DBA, those people are learning the database on the physical server, right? Now, how do we manage these DBAs to move on to the cloud technology? So, how people move a database from physical to the cloud? What is the cloud database administration? Generally, it is physical database administration that you learn, right? So, cloud database administration would be a completely new journey for all the DBAs. So that is something I plan in a long run. Like we move directly from the physical server administration to the cloud. So that I think will excite DBAs, and honestly, it's exciting me as well. Okay, okay. So do we require any query knowledge to become a master in Oracle Golden Gate? Not really query, but I don't know in which context you are asking about query knowledge. If you talk about normal database, then you have to be an amazing SQL. What do you call SQL expert? You should know a lot of queries. Uh, guys, many DBAs they will ask me this question: do we really need to be expert at SQL and all? See, for a DBA, it's not mandatory. but it will be very shameful when an application guy consult you for writing a nice query, and you are literally googling for writing the query or rephrasing the query. Now that is something, I believe, you must be master in SQL, how to write amazing SQLs, which SQL will perform better than the other. So if you talk about the querying knowledge, I'm not sure whether it is related to SQL. Yes, being a DBA, first of all, that is primary requirement. You have to be good at SQL, right? Mm. I would like to extend our appreciation for the amazing work. Thank you so much. I really, personally, I appreciate you all for being an amazing audience. Thank you so much, Arun, for wonderful. All your videos are very helpful for me. Thank you, Veera. The endless hours that you have spent working for Oracle professionals and the professionalism that you show has impressed the entire Oracle community. Thank you, Ravindranath. I literally, I mean, I am literally, I don't have words for it, but I'm very passionate about Oracle. I don't know why. I have no reasons. My family also asked me like, how can you sit so many hours in front of this box, which is right now the laptop? But I tend to, I don't know what attracts me so much when I open my laptop and start getting into fixing some issues. I am totally into it. I don't know why. There's no reason. And as I mentioned earlier, like support is my area. That is my amazing area. Like if somebody needs support, come to me. I have literally helped people out of my sleep. Sometimes I get call when I'm sleeping and somebody saying, Arun, I need your help right now. Can you tell me this? I mean, okay, I'm happy to support people like that, but only if you are lucky enough to get my call connected, because now I started putting my mobile on silent. Great, guys. Literally, I personally appreciate you all for being an amazing audience. Trust me, I never expected this number. 208 or 210 people registered for this webinar. I am so, so, so happy and excited to help you all with the Oracle Golden Gate. My goal was very clear. You should be Golden Gate interview ready by the end of the training. I don't want you guys to, after the training, investing again 2 months to learn the Golden Gate, and then you send me email, I am sending you the replies. I don't think that really works these days. We should learn quickly, and then once we are done with the learning, I mean, I think that's the time when you start really eating the fruit, right? So you complete the training, practice on your system with me, literally know the trainings, know the certifications that are available in Golden Gate, appear for the certification, be interview ready with me, prepare for the mock interviews. I'll take your mock interviews, appear for an interview, change the job, and maybe you might target and land into a job which you dream of with an amazing package. So, guys, without any further delay, I mean, really thank you so much for being an amazing audience. And one point, I mean, I'm seeing my paper because this is something I wrote down to make sure I say before end of this call is the best way to learn Oracle is one time read, two times practice. I repeat, the best way to learn Oracle is one time read, two times practice. And also with this webinar, I have removed your confusion between what exactly is Oracle cloning, refresh, and replication. We have also seen the power of Oracle Golden Gate, and I have also given you a gift hamper, which I believe all of you who are watching this video, or all the people who would be watching this video, I would like to see you in my training. Let us try to come and complete this amazing training, which will walk you through from nothing, zero knowledge in replication, to the advanced concepts, and you are interview ready. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. God bless you.